All right, we're back. Today's Sunday, going down to the shop to, for once, work on my buggy, the low budget buggy. I was looking back at videos and the low budget buggy episode 2 got like way more views than any of my other videos. So that goes to show that people are actually interested in that. So I should probably put out some content on that and just stop being lazy with it. I've been super busy with the JK and the Ranger, that I haven't even touched the budget buggy, but I need to get that at least drivetrain mounted, a roller, shocks mounted, all that good stuff, tires on it. That way I can roll it out of its spot and either take it back to the home shop or just get it out of that space when I need to, because we have other customers' jobs waiting and it's just sitting in valuable real estate where it is right now. So today we're gonna go down, see what we can get done, and just slowly start plugging away. I'm gonna try to maybe have some early mornings working on it, or in the afternoon after work hours, and try to just slowly plug away at it. We need to get moving on it. Well, looking at just how dusty the chassis is, it's been way too long since I've worked on this thing, so let's get back into it. Well, first order of business, since this thing has been sitting forever and I ended up stealing 2 of the pipe stands that it was sitting on and then put it back on it, I've got to get this thing re-centered as far as the drivetrain goes, and then I'm going to start with mounting the transmission first. I added the cross member tube right there, and then I'm just going to do a simple mount for those 2 bolt hole locations. Simple tab off that tube for the transmission cross member mount. And then I got to do the motor mounts, and I don't know if in the last video these lacing tubes were in, but I added the front lacing tubes. I like to leave these off in the DIY chassis kits, because I like to do the lacing tube down to where the motor mount's actually going to be, so that this junction right here ties into where the motor mount plate is. Cross member where the shock mount is, but that's all kind of stuff that gets added as you add your brackets. So as far as my press braking capabilities go, I can't really do super complex parts. I could take the fingers out and break like this edge, but for simplicity, I like to just break the long edge and then do a slot for these side tabs, and then just weld the seam after. It just is a faster and easier way for me to do these, and then I'll blend those welds out. So there we go, we got the welded up flange with the seams ground down. I did end up welding the bottom side just to make sure those are nice and strong where the weld was ground down. But yeah, simple, nothing crazy, not perfect. But that's the whole theme of this thing, is just quick, get it done, get it in the car, and get going. All right, there we go. We got that tacked in the car. I don't have the right length of bolts, so I stacked up a bunch of washers. That way I could at least get it bolted up, get that set of blocks that were under there out of there. And now we just gotta hang the front of the motor and get all these blocks out of there. All right, so here for the motor mounts. Of course, nothing can be simple like an LS or something that's just a motor plate that's flat with 4 bolts in it, and put some tabs on it and call it a day. Nothing simple. So right here on the side of this block, we have 2 bolt holes that are in plane with each other, and then one that's recessed back over here. So what my plan is with this is I'm gonna do 2 bolt holes in those, and then basically have a tube standoff to the back of this with a plate welded to the end to take up that extra space in between there. And of course, this is just like a mock-up plate just to get the bolt hole spacing right. So I'll basically then go from this flange to a boxed in structure to a 1/2-inch bolt going through here with tabs holding that spacer in. So I've got different lengths of these spacers that are a 1/2-inch bolt. And what my plan is to do with these here, I will probably use I think these are like 2-inch. These look like they're like 1.5 inches. So I'll probably end up using these 2-inch ones. And since we're gonna solid mount this drivetrain, instead of using like a poly bushing, like normal motor mounts are, I'm just gonna do 2 tabs off the frame to a 1/2-inch bolt that goes through this to a box structure that ties into this plate right here. It will essentially be the same concept as like this style motor mount, but instead of having that poly bushing in there, we're just gonna have a solid motor mount. All right, so after some time of messing around and figuring this thing out, this is what I've come up with. Motor plate to this arm where that bushing was. And this is gonna get all fully welded and everything. I don't think I'm gonna box in the bottom just because when you get a ratchet in there, again, I don't have the right length of bolt, so I'm just stacking up a bunch of washers. But when you get a ratchet in there on the bottom, it's kind of nice to get the head of the ratchet underneath. So I don't think I'm gonna box in the bottom. It'll be plenty strong. It's 3/16 on the sides and top. And then I'm gonna box in the top and bottom of this piece, and then that'll all be solid motor mount. So we'll get this side all welded up, and then we'll move to the other side. All right, here we go. Passenger side done-ish, except for that one spreader plate, tube, whatever you want to call it. And then I got the driver's side done too. The driver's side is quite a bit longer. The motor is centered in the chassis. It's just the offset of where the mounting surface is way further over. So that side's short and that side's long, but that is not a big deal because drive shaft clearance and upper link clearance and everything on this side will be perfect. Exhaust will come down, wrap around the front of the oil pan, shoot back down the passenger side. So happy with all that. All right, well, today is now Monday afternoon. Just got cleaned up. The end of the day, I had to clean up super quick yesterday to get home because it was Sunday and I had already been at the shop all day working on this thing. So show you guys what we were working on today. So today we were working on John's buggy. Got the door bars all cut out. Had like a drop down swoop door style thing, and he just wants actual like swing open doors on this. So grab my little notebook. So what we're gonna do for him here is basically the same style of door that we did on the FJ buggy, where this tube is basically the like secondary A-pillar. The A-pillar would be here. So secondary A-pillar going down, we're gonna mount the door off of that tube, and then it's gonna swoop down, kind of trying to follow the profile of the top tube right here, down, and then go back to a point, and then come down on the bottom, and then from here, basically the midpoint of the B-pillar where the tube is going back on the car, it's gonna come down to the front seat tube. And then I kind of scribbled out this tube. We're gonna do a tube from the junction in the corner up, somewhat following that line through the door, and then just lace the door kind of in that fashion. So that's just a rough drawing of what I'm thinking in my mind. Should work out pretty good. I think it'll be comfortable with a tube going from here down to the seat tube right there. And then that tube will kind of block the seat. If you were to lean up against a rock or something, it's not gonna like crush in on your seat or anything. And then just the shape of the door kind of following that profile down and back into a miter, and then just along the bottom. If you guys were around for when I did the FJ buggy doors, these are gonna be like the exact same concept as those. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, keep it classy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.